Omen is intended for an adult audience. The story explores mature themes and contains instances of dramatized violence. Full transcripts of each episode can be viewed at omencast.com.
Come on. It must be here somewhere.
Who's in there? Show yourself, you thieving little... Perseus?
Good evening, Venture Captain.
What in hell are you doing in my library? At this time of... Wait. Drakehill's people are looking for you.
They are indeed. For nearly 2 weeks now. And yet the Eyrie can't seem to spare a simple search party for 3 missing investigators. My nephew among them. Is that Justice Brackett?
Asks a man who's broken into my home?
Well, are you going to turn me in?
I don't know. After your little heist at the real estate offices, they say you just disappeared from your cell.
Yes, well, none of that matters right now. I don't suppose you have any spare scrolls of sending. I must get word to an associate of mine as soon as possible.
And this somehow gives you the right to rob me.
Forgive me for helping myself. The antiquities shop is somewhat inaccessible at the moment, what with the warrant out for my arrest and all.
You shouldn't be here, Perseus. If I'm caught harboring a wanted fugitive, it could...
Please, Brackett. People are going to die if I don't get word to Eskedar.
Eskedar? What is this all about?
I don't have time to explain things properly, I'm afraid. I just need... Didn't you have a copy of Theodric's manifesto somewhere? Aha! Here it is.
You're asking me to become an accessory to trespassing and larceny, to blatantly obstruct due process.
I'm afraid my crimes run much deeper than that, my friend.
This isn't the good old days, Perseus. We're too damn old for this sort of rat-catcher nonsense.
Brackett, please, you don't understand.
You and I fought to bring order to Andoran. You sit on the People's Council to uphold common rule. What is so damned important that you're willing to throw all of it to the winds?
I'm not asking for your help, Brackett. Only for the chance to amend a terrible mistake.
What mistake?
The greatest mistake of my life.
Gods help me, Perseus. You better start talking sense or I will drag you back to the Eyrie.
There's no time! And now that the beacon has closed... Arudin Preservus, what have I done?
You mean that anomaly off the coast of Kortos? Did you have something to do with that strange purple light?
Theodric warned us we'd have to face our demons one day. I thought, after so long, I'd have been more prepared.
What did you do, Perseus?
After 40 long years, my luck has finally run out. She's coming for me, Brackett.
Sid, there is much to discuss.
That's the understatement of the century. How in hell did you catch up with us so quickly?
And where's the wheel's woe?
Or Stoddard, for that matter.
And what have you done with my crew?
Your crew, Lady Carthus.
So help me if you've trained them up again.
They are all below deck, unfettered and uninjured, for the most part.
If you've done them harm in any way...
You are in no condition to threaten this one, Lady Carthus. But you misunderstand. The few injuries your people suffered were at the hands of those loyal to Stoddard.
Wait, don't you work for Stoddard?
Please, sit. We must parley, and quickly.
Yeah, I think we're gonna want to hear him out.
It's not like we ever had a choice.
I suppose your brother is standing guard outside for a reason?
But Tob only keeps the others from eavesdropping. May this one begin.
Very well. Say your piece, then.
First, many apologies for what must seem an odd welcome. You understand it's been several days since we arrived. The crew had cast lots concerning whether or not you would return.
Whoa. Back up a second there, Chief. What do you mean several days? We were only gone a few hours.
As this one has said, the wheel's woe came upon the witch's teat 3 days and 4 nights past. We've been here anchored since then, awaiting Stoddard's return.
Oh no.
Gwen, what's wrong?
The time distortion in the Somal caves. Torn had it backwards. Time didn't slow at the Nexus, it sped up. And my mistake allowed Stoddard to catch us.
Oh. I mean, it wasn't your fault.
Yeah, more likely Torn just lied to us. Typical demon crap.
But what about Lola? Where is she, Barto?
At the moment, she draws the wheel's woe away to the north, making for Diabel from the sound of it. Wisp told of how Lola commandeered the skiff mere hours after you ventured into the beacon, with a strange woman as her captive.
Yeah, that can't be good.
No friend of yours?
Not really, no. We don't even know her name, let alone the sort of threat she might pose.
I guess it all depends on whether they're working together or not. For all we know, Lola might be dead already.
Quentin, don't say that. We don't even know what happened.
But we do have an educated guess, and I think it's pretty obvious Lola's got herself a new demon girlfriend.
Oh, do shut your hatch, Toby. Or have you already forgotten what it's like to be charmed? Besides, if she is headed north, there are only so many places that small of a skiff could sail.
Lady Carthus is correct, but time is against us. We must act swiftly.
And what makes you think we are doing anything with you?
Allow this one to explain. When Stoddard retook the witch's teat...
Actually, it's called the Friendship now. And please, you can just call me Gwen.
I see. When Stoddard heard of Lola's escape, he divided his crew to give chase. He left this one in command of the Friendship to guard the beacon against treasure hunters until his return. However, it seems, whatever her motives, Lola has put us all in an interesting position.
Let me guess. You want to stab Stoddard in the back, too?
This one spoke earlier of Lady Gwen's crew, and the injuries they sustained from Stoddard's men.
Yes. Go on.
Not long after the Wheel's Woe departed to hunt for Lola, this one put both crews to a vote. The few who were foolish enough to stand by Stoddard's command were quickly overrun. Blows were exchanged during the debate, but rest assured, the dissenters' blood now seasons the great briny deep.
Oh, I see.
So you're saying your people are willing to join us?
This one is saying they already have.
Well, that certainly is convenient. I guess all the cool kids are mutinying these days, huh?
But wouldn't that put you in charge of things, Barto?
This one served as first mate aboard the Witch's Teat, but it seems the Friendship has already chosen her captain.
Wow, that's, suspiciously generous of you.
It is not this one's place to upset what was rightly decided. And if our two parties are to merge, perhaps even to trust one another, it must be done under new management, not vestiges of the old.
Sounds good to me. What's our next step?
Really, Toby? You're just ready to trust this guy?
This one only requires the trust of Lady Gwen to proceed.
Me? I don't understand.
This one has spoken to each of Stoddard's former prisoners, some more than others these past few days. Most of them trusted you enough to come to this place, Lady Gwen. A few held to the hope that you would return from the beacon to rescue them. And now that you have indeed returned, it is clear there will be no accord between our companies without your blessing.
Oh, I see. Well, let us say I do wish to trust you, Barto. Would your crew even be comfortable with me as their captain?
No, not at first. But they will not question your orders when spoken through this one. In time, should you rise to your unorthodox reputation, they will come to respect you as well.
Okay, hold on. This is great and all, but why are you suddenly so eager to break away from Stoddard?
Mutiny is not some fickle thing that strikes as lightning. Much as a cluster of barnacles may take years to slow a ship and choke her rudder, so too has Stoddard's arrogance and cruelty weighed down the hearts of his crew.
Okay then. Good explanation.
And what makes you think I even want to lead a motley band of pirates?
Most of us are but simple sailors, Lady Gwen. We were either forced into Stoddard's service or sold to him as servants. Piracy is a tainted trade, not something one chooses freely.
Stoddard chose it.
Aye. And he deserves the same fate as those that stand by him. Those that remain, including this one, would gladly exchange our blood wages for clear consciences.
And does the crew aboard the Wheel's Woe feel the same way?
We shall find out soon enough.
Oh, great. So we're supposed to lie in wait here for gods know how long.
No. We must go to them.
But aren't you supposed to be guarding the beacon?
What beacon? The Somal Caves are buried, remember?
Oh, right.
Stoddard will not be able to find us without the light to guide him. He will be expecting a rendezvous. Hopefully he'll halt his search long enough to wait for us.
And when we show up, we can broadside them at point-blank range. They won't even know what hit them.
No, we cannot. All siege munitions larger than grape shot are stowed aboard the Wheel's Woe.
Seriously? Why would Stoddard do that?
The Friendship was built to cripple and tow trade vessels, not sink them. She is all the faster for it. And we never gave chase to targets large enough to pose any threat to her hull.
Okay, so we just wait until dark and slit everyone's throats then?
Absolutely not. There might be more of Stoddard's crew who wish to mutiny with us. We have to give them that chance.
Did any of them give us a chance?
No. But Barto and his friends have. It's only polite to return the favor.
You view the world through a strange lens, Lady Gwen.
You are not wrong.
So what are we supposed to do when we find the Wheel's Woe? Ask nicely if they'll all turn against the most infamous pirate on the inner sea?
There will be little choice once they see Stoddard's corpse.
I like the way you think. So you're just gonna walk up and run him through in front of everyone, huh?
No. Lady Gwen will kill him.
What? No! I could never.
You must. If a first mate kills his captain, he becomes naught but a loathsome traitor in the eyes of the crew.
But they know you. Surely they would follow you.
Perhaps. But this is not the way of things.
Then I say to hell with the way of things. I'm not going to sink to that fiend's level. Not for you, not for anybody.
What of those who elected you their captain? What will be their fate if Stoddard is allowed to live?
No, I'm not a killer.
I bet Barlow would beg to differ. If he could.
Toby, shut your hatch. He didn't mean it, Gwen. That was different. It was self-defense. We had
Just stop! All of you! Barto, please set a course for Diabel. We'll check there first for Lola.
And what of Stoddard?
I don't know. And right now, I don't care.
Where are you going?
Below deck. I need to think.
What in hell is wrong with you?
What? She cracked open a pirate's head like a pumpkin last week, and now she's getting cold feet?
I seem to remember you looking a bit green around the gills after helping put down said pirates.
Yeah, well, some of us haven't had years of training on the intricacies of sticking swords into people.
Just throw Gwen some slack, all right? If her mind is made up, I guess I can take out Stoddard.
No. Lady Gwen must be the one to kill him.
Right, because of reasons.
It is the way of things on the inner sea. To legitimize her claim, both ships' crews must witness Stoddard's fall at her hands.
What? And then they'll all just fall in line?
If all is done correctly, yes. The men will understand the choice they've been given. To do otherwise invites malcontent.
And if Gwen continues to be difficult?
Then this one shall be forced to return to Stoddard's side. Our only chance at mutiny gone before it's begun. This also means you must be returned to your stocks as prisoners, a task this one had hoped never to perform again. But it shall be done by one method or another, if Lady Gwen does not play the part of captain.
If you think any of us are going back to being someone's property without a fight, you're dead wrong.
Then, it is of the utmost importance that you two convince her to rise to the occasion. This one does not desire more needless bloodshed. Batab will be expecting Lady Gwen for sparring practice in the morning. He's an accomplished swordsman.
Gwen can shoot fireballs. She doesn't need your help.
This one is not offering a choice in the matter. More than just your fates rest on Stoddard's demise. And he is no base prey.
You want insurance? Fine. But if you're counting on this showdown happening, then you'd better have a damn good plan to ensure the wheel's woe doesn't just blast us to splinters.
Actually, I may have an idea or two about that.
And you're absolutely certain she said the words wet house?
Aye, Captain. Dockmaster says she left that very night, following the coast to the north.
Well, that certainly gives us ample time to make pace. But what in hell is she hoping to find at the cresting wave?
Dunno, Captain. Ain't been no word of any odd goings-on up there. Least not in Diabell.
Very well. We make for Escadar in the morning. Leave word with the dockmaster for Bato.
Captain, the Teats just made harbour, sir.
Speak of Asmodeus. Scratch that last command, bosun. Go and fetch the gangplank. I need a word with the first mate.
Aye, Captain.
Ahoy there, Captain.
It seems your timing is impeccable as usual, my friend. We make for the Isle of Erin on the morrow.
No sign of the quartermaster, then?
Former quartermaster, you mean? She follows the coast to Escadar, apparently seeking asylum at the house of the cresting wave.
Spare a moment for a word in private, Captain.
Indeed! I'm anxious to hear about our mysterious disappearing beacon. Were you and Batab able to salvage anything before the light extinguished?
A tale best told in your quarters, Captain.
As you say. Hurry up with the gangway, you dogs!
After you, Captain.
All right, out with it. What's so bloody secretive?
Mutiny, Captain. Beyond Lola's betrayal.
Yes, we spoke of this before you took command of the Teat. Well, how many did you have to kill?
4 seasoned veterans. Griggs and Billings, as well as...
And? Did that adequately straighten out the rest?
More than adequately, Captain.
Fine then. We'll hire replacements in Escadar.
These were no mere greenhorns, Captain. Griggs had been with us since they sought this job. And Billy...
Remind me to piss over whatever side you dumped their corpses in memoriam. Now, what of the beacon? What did you see?
Lady Carthus and the other missing prisoners have returned.
What? No. You're bloody joking.
It is a bizarre tale, Captain. They used potions of water breathing, brewed by the boy, it seems. Said they found some sort of undersea cavern. Perhaps a way down into the Darklands.
And the beacon?
Disappeared as soon as they resurfaced. 3 days after you departed. Apparently, there was a cave-in.
Damn. I don't suppose they brought anything back with them.
That is what concerns this one, Captain. That woman, the one who was said to have boarded the skiff with Lola. She is not listed in the manifest.
Some accomplice of Lola's from Absalom.
If the prisoners are to be believed, she was found in the caverns.
Oh, rubbish.
They say they found a man as well, though it seems he perished in the collapse. The Carthus woman claims they were demons.
And I suppose you believed the girl?
This one suspects they may have been drow scouts from Narvoth, though the thought of dark elves roaming the seas is just as worrying.
Worrying? What is there to worry about? We have our ransom hostage back, and this mystery woman may be able to lead us to other treasures, regardless of what she is.
But what does the wet house have to do with all this?
Who cares? She might be low as Lanty for all we know. In either case, she may be able to bring us back those caverns.
To what end, Captain? Carthus and her people didn't seem to find anything of value down there.
Gods help me, Botto. Could you be any less innovative? Tell the rest of the crew we make for Escadar come first light.
Aye, Captain.
Now, I think it's time I paid a little visit to our prodigal bargaining chip. Fetch me a lantern, won't you?
Lady Gwen is not being held in the brig, Captain.
What's that?
This one last saw her on the main deck.
What are you going on about? Why in hell would she be left on the bloody...
Well, hello there! Remember us?
What in the...
Huh. Nice shot. Right above the magazine.
And the fuse is still lit. You owe me a silver.
What in hell are you all standing around for? Get these chattel back in their bloody irons! Men, topside, now!
Stoddard! Your pirating days are over!
Oh, but this is rich! A mutiny, led by this simpering brat. Really, Barto? Have you lost your damn mind?
She has been elected your successor. Twice. Once by your former prisoners, and once by your former crew. You cannot...
Barto! No!
You bastard! Any fool who stands in defiance of their rightful captain shall die this night. This is your only warning.
She challenges you fairly.
Aye. And when I'm done hacking the limbs from her body, I'll do the same to you, you miserable traitoress!
Excuse me, I hate to interrupt your ranting, but I don't suppose you noticed the flask on the end of that harpoon?
Men, pry that damn barb from my hull! Now!
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Refined propellant can be pretty sensitive, and that's a 5-minute fuse sticking out of it, by the way. Bato tells me that's right about where you store all the Woe's munitions. Is that right?
Oh, what I'm going to do to you.
The Wheel's Woe is as good as sunk, Stoddard.
If your people value their lives, they'll come aboard now.
Get your asses over here, all of you! Pull anchor and abandon ship! Oh, Miss Carthus, I am going to ransom you back to your family 1 inch at a time, until there is nothing left of you.
Come then! Try and claim your first payment.
Ha! An interesting choice of weapon, girl. Bringing a mace to a sword fight. Tires you out faster. Slows you down.
As does talking whilst fighting.
Very well. You want to skip the foreplay, do you?
Gwen, no! What are you waiting for, Gwen? Blast him!
Ah, yes, that's right. Noble brats like you all receive arcane tutelage, don't they? Learned a few parlor tricks back home, did we? Let's see how well you cast without a tongue. You dirty little bitch! Pull a knife on me!
The first of 2 gifts from the late Barlow.
Aye, girl. And you'd be the second. If Barlow weren't already dead, I'd give that worm a promotion! You're a gift that just keeps on giving!
Not me. Barlow left you a bit of perfume.
What now? What the... What is this?
Just a tool of your trade. As your lily pollen.
No! You! Cheating little... Oh. Oh.
Nothing personal. It's just business.
Bloody hell! She's knocked him out cold.
What will we do? What happens now?
Witness, all of you, with this killing blow, Lady Gwen makes rightful claim to Stoddard Station as captain.
No! Stoddard is my prisoner.
You must, Lady Gwen. It is the way of things.
I extend to each of you a choice. Those who wish to amend the suffering your profession has caused, you are welcome to join my crew. As payment, I offer you each a share of Stoddard's bounty. Those who want no part in this, you are free to return to the foul trade of piracy, which, I might add, is wrong.
And how in the hell are we supposed to do that?
Yeah! Our ship's about to go up in flames!
The flask is empty, idiots! Look, the fuse has already gone out.
You can start reeling the woe back in, Quinton.
Aye, aye, Captain.
She hoodwinked us, she did.
Of all the dirty tricks!
To all who want a fresh start, you may join my crew aboard the Wheel's Woe. Otherwise, I leave this ship to you.
This band really thinks she can tell us what to do.
I'll be damned if I serve under some bloody richling!
To those who remain, remember this. The Woe has the superior guns and will outman you 3-1.
So you'd better not try anything cute.
We're within boarding distance, Gwen.
Lower the gangway.
Here, Quint, help me carry Stoddard down to the brig.
With pleasure. Whoopsie, watch his head now.
Aw, did the big mean pirate bonk his little coconut?
This is your last chance. Forsake your foul trade, or wallow in the disgrace of your wicked deeds.
The pox on you bloody traitors.
You haven't heard the last of us, harlot!
Very well. Sever the rope.
We should open fire on them, Lady Gwen.
But we will not. You look about to keel over, Bartow. Here, Toby used the last of his reagents to make a poultice.
This one has suffered through worse. But Tob has all but staunched the bleeding. Your need looks to be greater.
Thank you, but I insist. Take some, Barto.
Please, Lady Gwen. If we do not deal with them now, we shall pay dearly for your mercy later.
There's barely enough of them to pilot the Friendship as it is. If they're smart, they'll sell her an Absalom and go their separate ways.
As long as Stoddard lives, even bound and chained in some cell, he shall always be a threat as long as there are men loyal to him.
He's got a point, Gwen. You can bet Stoddard's crew will be back for him. And with bigger munitions than just grape shot.
Then we'll just have to be ready for them.
Or, alternatively...
Yes, Toby?
Wait for it.
Wait for what?
Whoa!
For that!
Tobias, what have you done?
I could have sworn I set the real flask of blasting powder near enough to their stores of... There we go!
Saren Ray's tits.
You are certainly full of surprises, young quartermaster.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of loose ends.
I'll say. You blasted them straight to the astral plane.
Just a small precaution to ensure our new vocation as independent privateers starts on the right foot.
Remind me to let you steal whatever you want from now on.
Damn right! So what do you think, Gwen? Not a bad ending to our first day as... Can't please everyone, I guess.
Give her time. Lady Gwen will come to see the foresight with which you acted.
Yeah, it's probably best to give her some space, too.
Maybe I should have mentioned it to her. I mean, I figured she'd be too stubborn to use magic against Stoddard, so...
Hold on. What if she had cast a fireball?
Yeah, that could have been really bad. Hence why I didn't tell you my plan either.
Wow. I swear, Toby, only you could single-handedly save the day and piss everyone off at the same time.
What can I say? It's a gift.
Do you also happen to be gifted in field surgery, young quartermaster?
Yeah, come on. Let's get that slug out of you. Hey, Quint, if you see Gwen...
What? Tell her you're not sorry?
Never mind.
Men! Set a watch. We make for Escadar. Come first light.
Hello? Anybody in there? Hello?
Who are you?
Gods above. You scared the life out of me, miss. What in the hell do you think you're doing out here? You can't just run around any old place, you know.
Are you a guard?
What? No, I'm a dockhand down at the pier. You know, that thing about a mile that away you gotta pay to harbour at. You best make your way there now, else I'll have to report you.
Do you have any food or water?
What is this? I warn you, miss. Escadar don't abide pirates or their ilk. So if that skiff of yours is stolen property, you best just turn around and...
My sister is below deck. She's injured. I must get her to the wet house immediately. Do you know this place?
What? You mean the House of the Crescent Wave? That ain't a hospital, you know. More of an embassy, really.
I must get my sister there. but I am too weak to carry her alone. Will you help me? Please?
Listen, miss. I'm just out for a stroll. If you need help, I'll be glad to fetch the night watch for you. They can get your sis a proper doctor.
There isn't time. Please help me carry her. I promise to return and pay the docking fee.
If this is such an emergency, why didn't you just go straight to the docks?
I can pay you as well. In more ways than one.
Now, there's no need for that. I'll help you get her to town, all right? But we're going straight to the constabulary. Understand? I don't want to get mixed up in any fishy business.
This wet house embassy. Where is it?
Much too far to carry your sister, I can tell you that. See that big domed temple up on the hill there? Must be a good 5 miles uphill from here. No, your best bet's to wake a healer and...
You have been useful. My lady thanks you.
Omen, Episode 108, Finders Keepers, was written and directed by Tim Kraus. Featuring Mamito Kukwakila as Gwen, AJ Beckles as Tobias, Charlie Wes as Quentin, Gary Scales as Bartow, Anthony Morales as Stoddard, Chris Einspar as Lewin, and Maeve De Bruyn as Lola. Thank you to special guest Kyle Brown from King Falls AM as Brackett. Additional voices provided by Sarah Golding, Graham Rowat, Phil Usher, Tom Laughlin, and Brandon Jenkins. Original music composed by Matt Lee. If you would like to support these independent creators, as well as unlock exclusive Omen content, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Omen Podcast. You can also show love for Omen by leaving a rating and review wherever you listen. Your encouragement is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Have you ever thought about creating your own podcast? Either a fictional show like Omen, or a non-fiction podcast that showcases what you're passionate about. Podcast Now is a comprehensive online course that will guide you step by step from your show concept to a successful podcast, with an emphasis on success. Developed and taught by Sarah Ray Werner, creator of the award-winning audio drama Girl in Space. Podcast Now has helped many shows find their own success stories, including Omen. Visit sarahwerner.com, that's SarahWerner.com, and download the free podcast roadmap, an invaluable tool that will get you started down the right path. Again, visit sarahwerner.com and click on Free Podcast Roadmap to get started today. Thank you so much for listening to Omen. And until next we meet, fair winds and following seas.